Welcome to our channel, where stories breathe, where struggle becomes strength, and where the human spirit reveals its quiet power. Here, we honor the people who rise through pain, who fight through doubt, and who show us that greatness is not a gift, it is a choice. Today, we journey into the life of a warrior, a man who never stops fighting, a man who turns suffering into strength. This is the story of Rafael Nadal. Chapter 1. The Boy from Mallorca. On June 3, 1986, a boy was born in the town of Manacor. A boy with shy eyes, a gentle smile, and a fire inside him that no one could yet see. His name was Rafael Nadal Pereira. He grew up in a loving family. His father Sebastian, calm and steady. His mother Ana Maria, warm and protective. His sister Maria Isabel, his closest friend. Mallorca shaped him. Its calmness became his humility. Its storms became his resilience. Its rugged cliffs became his strength. Rafa was always moving, running, jumping, chasing balls across the sand. He loved football. He loved tennis. He loved competition. But above all, he loved to fight. Even as a child, he chased every ball like it was the last one he would ever touch. The world didn't know it yet, but a warrior was being born. Chapter 2. Forged by Tony Nadal. Every legend has a mentor. For Rafael Nadal, that mentor was his uncle, Tony Nadal. Tony was strict, demanding, uncompromising. He didn't just teach Rafa tennis, he taught him life. He taught him discipline. He taught him humility. He taught him to never complain, not about pain, not about conditions, not about anything. Tony believed that suffering builds character, and Rafa learned to embrace suffering. He trained on bad courts. He used old equipment. He practiced until his hands bled. Tony told him, "If you want to be great, you must learn to endure." And Rafa listened. The boy from Mallorca was becoming a warrior. Chapter 3. The Rise of the Young Bull. At 15, Rafa turned professional. At 16, he defeated a Grand Slam champion. At 17, he shocked the tennis world with his power, his speed, his intensity. He wasn't elegant. He wasn't smooth. He wasn't effortless. He was raw, explosive, relentless. He ran for every ball. He fought for every point. He played with a fire the sport had never seen. Fans called him El Toro, the bull, because he charged, he attacked, he refused to back down. A new force had arrived. Chapter 4. The First Battles with Destiny. Before he became a champion, Nadal had to learn to lose. He lost matches he should have won. He lost tournaments where he was the favorite. He lost moments that broke his heart. But each loss sharpened him. Each defeat strengthened him. Each setback taught him something new. He learned patience. He learned strategy. He learned resilience. And slowly, the world began to see something extraordinary. This young man wasn't just talented, he was unstoppable. Chapter 5. The King of Clay is born. In 2005, at just 19 years old, Nadal entered Roland Garros for the first time. He wore sleeveless shirts. He wore pirate pants. He looked like a gladiator. And he played like one. He slid across the clay with impossible speed. He hit forehands that exploded off the court. He fought with a spirit that overwhelmed opponents. Match after match, he dominated. And on June 5, 2005, Rafael Nadal won his first French Open. He became the youngest champion in Paris since Mats Wilander. But this was only the beginning. Over the years, Nadal would turn Roland Garros into his kingdom. 14 titles, 14 trophies, 14 chapters of dominance. No athlete in history has ever ruled a single place the way Nadal ruled the clay of Paris. He wasn't just the king of clay. He was the king of persevere. Chapter 6. The Rivalry with Federer. Every great warrior needs a rival. For Nadal, that rival was Roger Federer, the artist, the master of elegance, the king of grass. They were opposites. Federer, smooth, effortless, graceful. Nadal, explosive, physical, relentless. Their rivalry became the heartbeat of tennis. They pushed each other, they respected each other, they elevated each other. Federer forced Nadal to improve his backhand. Nadal forced Federer to strengthen his mental game. Together, they created some of the greatest matches in history. Their rivalry wasn't war, it was art. Chapter 7. The 2008 Wimbledon Final. Wimbledon 2008. The greatest match ever played. Rain, darkness, drama, history. Nadal versus Federer. A battle of styles, a battle of wills, a battle of destiny. After 5 hours of war, Nadal fell to the grass in tears. He had conquered Wimbledon. He had defeated the king on his own court. He had completed one of the greatest achievements in sports. This was not just a victory. It was a coronation. Chapter 8. The world number 1. After Wimbledon, Nadal became world number 1. But with the crown came pressure. Every match was a test. Every loss was a crisis. Every victory was expected. Nadal carried the weight with humility. He never boasted. He never bragged. He never acted like a king. He acted like a worker, a fighter, a man who believed that success must be earned every day. Chapter 9. Pain, injury, and the endless fight. Behind the victories, behind the trophies, behind the celebrations, there was pain. Real pain. Nadal's body suffered from the beginning. Chronic knee injuries, foot problems, back issues, tendon tears, wrist injuries. Doctors told him to stop. Experts said he wouldn't last. Commentators predicted early retirement. But Nadal refused to surrender. He trained harder. He fought harder. He endured more pain than most athletes could imagine. He once said, "Pain is part of my life." But so is fighting, and fight he did, again and again. Chapter 10. The 2013 Comeback. 2012 was one of the darkest years of Nadal's career. He withdrew from tournaments. He missed the Olympics. He disappeared from the tour. People whispered, "He's finished. He'll never return. His body is broken." But in 2013, Nadal returned. Not just returned. He dominated. He won 10 titles. He won the US Open. He reclaimed world number 1. It was one of the greatest comebacks in tennis history because Nadal didn't just return to the game. He returned to himself. Chapter 11. The Rivalry with Djokovic. If Federer was the artist, Djokovic was the wall. Flexible, relentless, unbreakable. Their matches were wars, long rallies, mental battles, physical marathons. Djokovic pushed Nadal to his limits. Nadal pushed Djokovic to his. Together, they created a rivalry built on respect, endurance, and fire. Nadal learned to adapt, to evolve, to reinvent himself, because greatness demands evolution. Chapter 12. The 2022 Australian Open Miracle. In 2021, Nadal's foot injury became unbearable. He could barely walk, he could barely train, he could barely hope. He considered retirement. But in January 2022, he returned to the Australian Open. He reached the final. He faced Daniil Medvedev. He fell 2 sets behind. The world thought it was over, but Nadal fought back, point by point, game by game, set by set. And after 5 hours of battle, he won. At 35 years old, he completed one of the greatest comebacks in tennis history. He became the first man to win 21 Grand Slams. It was not a victory. It was a miracle. Chapter 13. The man behind the warrior. Beyond the courts, Nadal is humble. soft-spoken, respectful, grounded. He loves Mallorca. He loves his family. He loves simplicity. He created the Rafa Nadal Foundation to help children through education and sport. He built the Rafa Nadal Academy to inspire the next generation. He treats opponents with respect. He treats fans with kindness. He treats victories with humility. He is a warrior on the court and a gentleman off it. Chapter 14. The Philosophy of a Fighter. Nadal's greatness is not defined by trophies. It is defined by values, discipline, humility, resilience, respect, heart. He taught the world. Victory belongs to the one who fights the longest. He showed that suffering can be strength, that pain can be purpose, that heart can overcome everything. His story is not about perfection. It is about perseverance. Chapter 15. The Eternal Legacy. Rafael Nadal's legacy will outlive his career. He inspired millions. He changed tennis. He redefined what it means to fight. His story is a reminder that greatness is not about being the best. It is about giving your best. Every point, every match, every day. Nadal is not just a champion. He is a symbol of the human spirit at its strongest, and his legacy will live forever. Thank you for watching this journey with us. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of your own strength, you are already part of this community. Here, we honor the people who show us what the human spirit can do. If you'd like to walk with us through more stories of courage and resilience, we'd be honored to have you with us. Until next time, keep fighting, keep believing, and keep the light within alive.